This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, so we are learning ELK. So ELK is a one stake actually for certain problems. Okay, and that problem we'll discuss in some time. So when we say ELK, that means E for Elasticsearch. That's a one product. L for Logstash. That's another product. Okay. K for Kibana. That's another product again. And there is a one more product which is a part of this ELK, and that we call it a beats. Okay, beats. So yeah, typically we can say ELBK, something like that, but actually we all call it ELK because of very popular name now. So whenever someone asks you what is a ELK, you can say it is a one stake combination, consist of 4 different tools, combine it together and solving the problem in terms of searching and analysis of logs. Yes, logs. We are discussing today log analysis. Okay, log means the log which we have seen that in the in the in the system application log. But actually, this Elasticsearch can be used for not only logs analysis, it can be used for the site searches also, site searches. So that is also it can be used for. Now, site searches means you understand that, right? All of you? All of you?
Yeah, like Google, right?
Yeah, Google is one of the site searches. Site searches means when I say Google is a public one, but I want to develop site searches for my things. So how do you do that? So here you see, I just type DevOps in the my site, and here you have, see that. So now this is the DevOps. Here you see this word S for search and the keyword which is called DevOps. So this search which is getting powered in the website, that is also powered through the Elasticsearch ELK Stack. So in fact, this one, the website which is currently using of WordPress, is having inbuilt Elasticsearch. Are you able to understand?
Yeah.
So when you want to implement the site searches, then we use Elasticsearch also. So not only log analysis, but many other functions which we have. So let's get started. So some of the things I'll just skip it because that's not important for the very short training. Primarily this can go up to 3 to 5 days of training, depends on the agenda. So we'll try to finish today in the next 4 hours. So how does search work? So what is the objective of the search? What is the objective of the search which we have? So the objective of the search is to find the most relevant documents with your search term, correct? All of you? Most relevant. When you start searching something, it can be some text or something like that. So what you want, the most relevant document, for example, I search for on my website DevOps. So the most relevant, this see that DevOps you had many documents. These all are one document, two document, three document, four document, five document, six documents. So many documents here. But which is the most relevant has come on top. So this is the most relevant, and then after this and this. When you go to the Google also, this is the DevOps. You see how many results we have. Look at this. So there in Google database, there are more than this many documents is stored in Google database. But this is the one. So Google feels that this is the most relevant document what you have. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the objective of the search. So the question is, okay, what happens in the background? Understand that what happens in the background in order to find the most relevant document for search term. Background means as an engineering side, coding side, administration side. So first thing you have to know the document existence. Are we having any document as such or not? And after that, index the document for lookup. Index means storing, you can say. Then know how the relevant the document is. That means you search DevOps. So the document which you have, how much relevant, and then retrieved rank by relevance. That means giving a rank to the each document for certain keyword, and that is called retrieve rank by relevance. So here most of the time what we use web crawler if we use. So web crawler will go to the website each link and they'll try to find out the document. And then once they found out the document, new document, they will inverted index. So this is the important concept which we have. So they will create inverted index, and then third, score it, and fourth, based on the score, you will see the search results. Okay, so these are the things. Let's say I'll put it in this way. When you want to develop a new Google, then you have to develop one functionality which is called web crawler. Then you have to create inverted index. Then you have to create a scoring based on certain algorithm. And when people search for it, you have to give the results. So that is how the search engine works. And most of the time, when you develop a search engine for a website or maybe for the people, this is how it works. Are you comfortable?
Yes.
Okay. So now these are the things we needed. So now the question is, what is inverted index? That is the most important part of it. So inverted index consists of a list of all the unique words that appear in any document. Please mind it. When it's a document, so one log also is considered as a document. Remember, one line of log, the line you have a one Apache file, right? In a Apache file, you have Apache log, and you have a 2000 lines of log in that. So each line is considered to be one document. Okay, the line can have a multiple fields also, like source, destination, HTTP response, and blah blah blah. So remember, the document is having very broad definitions. Each URL also can represent it as each document, like that. So inverted index consists of all a list of all unique words that appear in any document, and for each word a list of the document in which it appears. Inverted index is created from the document created in Elasticsearch. Inverted index is created from documents created in Elasticsearch. Okay, so what is the process of inverted index? So inverted index is created using process called analysis, and analysis called analysis tokenization and filterization. So look at this here. The document is going to the analyzer, and analyzer will do the tokenization process and then filterization process, and then all this document will be stored in the inverted index. So now this is the process. Let's understand this way. So in order to understand the inverted index, let's understand this way. So there is one document called stock, and there is one document called Varatio. There is another document called Tyrell. So the document stock has a one keyword, winter is coming. Baratheon, we have a keyword, Ars is the fury, and Tyrell is a growing strong. So these are the documents, these are the content. Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
So now we have to create an inverted index. How can we create? So first tokenize this. So remember the process tokenization. Tokenize means just first tokenize each word of the document. So enter is coming, Ars is a fury, growing strong. And look at the repetitive word in these three documents. So if you see that only is having two occurrence, rest of this thing is one. So this process is called tokenizations. Are you comfortable?
Yes.
Okay. Now filterization. So see here. Now what will happen? Here you see that this each keyword and the number of occurrence. Now you see that each keyword, number of occurrence, and in which document it has. So when I search winter, then what document I should get it? Tell me. What document I should get it?
First one.
Stock, right? Stock, not one. One is occurrence.
No, I'm
Document
saying
is,
first one. First one
yeah,
I was saying.
yeah. So when I search hours, I should get Baratheon like that. So this is the importance of tokenizations. So now this, after the tokenization is done, after that you have to improve. That is called here, we call it filterizations. So what we'll do is little bit of cleanup or something like that, so that we can do using the, let's say, sorted so easy, so lookup is easy. So here that means here we are sorting it, so that way search will be faster. You know that sorting is been used, so the search can be faster. So here that sorting has happened. Okay, now when user search, this is the inverted index, this is your database right now, inverted index. So inverted index will have each keyword, their number of occurrence, and then which document it belong to. So this is the visualization. Now let's look at it one more time. What was the definition I said? An inverted index consists of a list of all unique word that appears in any document, and for each word a list of document in which it appears. Inverted index is created from the document created in Elasticsearch. So now did you got a clarity what is inverted index, what it contains, how it contains, and all blah blah blah? All of you?
Yeah, it will store the unique words, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So now when people will search for winter, you get a stock. When you search for fury, we get a Baratheon. You get we search for ease, you get a stock and Baratheon, and so on. When you search for coming or strong, then you get the two documents. But when you say coming and strong, you have nothing. Why? Why? What is the reason for it?
And is not going.
Can you repeat it again, Rajesh?
When I search in my inverted index coming or strong, it gives me the two document. But when I search Fury and growing, it give me no document. Why?
Like unique words is not present, right? So
So there is no
that is what.
document. There is no document present in which you have a Fury word and growing word. That's the reason. No results. It's very simple. See here. I'm searching Rajesh and I'm searching here Google Rajesh or Ramu Kaka. See here. Here Rajesh is there. Here Rajesh is there. Rajesh is there. So many Rajesh has come. Ramu Kaka. Where? Ramu Kaka. See here. So if you see the Ramu Kaka is here, but Rajesh is not here. So that means this is showing the document which has a Rajesh or Ramu Kaka. Very simple. But if I say, let me see if I have Rajesh and Ramu Kaka in the same document. See here, Rajesh and Ramu Kaka. Ramu Kaka and Rajesh. Here Rajesh and Ramu Kaka. Correct? So this is the same document. Now I'll see that. I'll just make it very unique and see that do you get a results? This and this. Putting the quote because I want, see, there is no document in the whole planet which is stored by Google. The document has Rajesh keyword also and this keyword also. Are you understanding, all of you? So that means inverted index of Google is not having any as such records. So I hope now you understood the concept of inverted index. Are you understanding?
Yeah, Rajesh.
So now I will not drag this topic more because I just wanted to tell you what is inverted index. And there's so many algorithms are there. I will let you decide offline and help you to read. So now you must be thinking why I was talking about the inverted index. So actually inverted index at the heart of search engine. Yes, search engine means Elasticsearch also. So when you work with Elasticsearch, the index what you see, you will see in form of inverted index only. So that is you should know the nature of index. So now the question it should be how to implement the search. Now guys, when I say search, it can be any kind of search like website search, log search, because I said already in website each page, each URL is a one document. But when you look at the log, each line of log file is one document. I hope you are able to understand. So here, how do we implement the search? So guys, you know what? So anyone who wanted to implement the search, we had a one project called Apache Lucene. So Apache means you know that it's a free open source product, and Lucene, a Lucene project, it was used for the indexing and search library for high performance full text search engine. That means in a simple way, if I say, if you want to develop a search functionality for your website or for your log management, then you can use Apache Lucene. That is a free. Then you will say, Rajesh, why I'm talking about Apache Lucene? I'm talking about Apache Lucene because many other products got developed using Apache Lucene. That means they copy the source code and they extended the feature of Apache Lucene. Something like a Solar, something like a Nutch, something like a CreateDB, and Elasticsearch. So if someone will ask you, okay, tell me that what is the origin of Elasticsearch? So Elasticsearch used the Lucene in the background analytics engine. Are you understanding now?
Yeah.
Yeah, Raj.
So Elasticsearch works on the Lucene. So now we have understood some of the fundamental information about searches, inverted index, and Apache Lucene. Then with that, Elasticsearch. So I'll just skip some of the slides because so many things are there. So yes, uh, this is an open source product used for search and analytics engine. This is written in Java. Why? Because Apache Lucene itself is written in Java. So for running the Elasticsearch, you need a GRE. They are having multiple functionality. So this is distributed. That means you can create a clusters, can thousands of node can work together to give you that feature. It has a high availability. You can do the CRUD. You can perform the powerful DSL queries, and it is a schemaless. So these are the use cases where you can use Elasticsearch. You can use for the e-commerce website, video website, course website. You can use for the mining the logs data for insight. You can do for many other stuff. So today we'll focus on mining the log data for insight. So this will be our primary focus for Elasticsearch. So guys, Elasticsearch, they have a multiple offerings. So Elastic Cloud is also there, and standalone is also there, and orchestration. So today I'll be trying with a standalone. That means I'll be trying in my laptop, and the sessions will be recorded. You can try in the offline hours also. Okay, so I'm thinking to not to give you lab today. The region is very simple. We have huge things to cover, lots of context to cover, and then limited time. So anyways, I'll show you, and then you can you have a recordings, then you can check this offline and practice it. Okay, so some of the pricing I'll just skip it and so on. Now with that, we will go and install the Elasticsearch. So how to install the Elasticsearch? Anyways, I'll teach you. I'll show you that as part of the demo. But one thing is which is clear, and that is Elasticsearch cannot run with a root user. So this is something which you need to understand. Okay. So if you want to learn, if you want to run Elasticsearch, you have to try non-root user only. Okay. So all of you understood that the fundamental of Elasticsearch. Now Elasticsearch will bind to a single port for both HTTP and node transport APIs, and that is 9200 for the REST and 9330 for the node communication discovery transmode module and so on. So two port is used. So in a simple way, if I say if you want to talk to Elasticsearch, you can use 9200, and when you set up a cluster, thousands of or hundreds of node for Elasticsearch, how would they communicate with each other? On the port number 9300. Are you comfortable so far?
Yeah, Rajesh, that is okay. Can I ask you a question? Hello?
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, Rajesh, before jumping onto the lab, there are some other topics, right? Shards and indices and the nodes topic is there, right? So in the Elasticsearch, if you would able to explain, they will get need some clear explanation regarding with that.
Yeah. So we'll do that. Okay, let me then, because you have asked this question, let me,
Yeah,
before getting into the installation, let me help you to understand.
yeah, sir.
So, yeah. So now, first, I think I need to customize little bit of this. So let me use the Node MS Paint. It will be easier for me. Okay. So, guys, what we are trying to do is something like this, and you have to understand very carefully. I'm drawing these pictures, because I want to save some time, because I have hundreds of slides on it. I just don't want to lose that all this thing on slides itself. So now, guys, this is a Kibana, okay, and I'll just write it. So what is Kibana in simple way? So you'll understand the end-to-end picture. So Kibana is a dashboard. Okay, so Kibana is a dashboard. I wrote actually. Now, why we need Kibana? I'll ask you why you need Google page. Why you need this? So you got the answer, right? Why you need this page? Why
The
you need
search,
this?
it's a search engine. So search
Search
engine.
yeah, search and analysis. Google is very powerful, but Kibana is also powerful, but it will give you a lot of features actually. So primarily goal is to search. So this is the search and analysis. So Kibana, you will hit the Kibana, and Kibana is a dashboard. Dashboard means UI component of searching and analysis. There's a lot of ways, techniques to search. That is, I'll teach you also. Just don't worry for it. After that, Kibana required database, right? When you search the Google, it required the inverted index. So same way, Kibana also required the inverted index. So Kibana talked to Elasticsearch, and this is where the Elasticsearch database is there. Mind it, arrow is very important. Okay, arrow is very important. So this is where you have Elasticsearch, and you can use this. So here, Elasticsearch. In short, I'm writing. Okay. Now, so in that case, Elasticsearch is what? So you can say Elasticsearch is like a kind of database, but actually it's not database. We call it index. Okay. What we call it? Index. Index is like a database, but it's an inverted index. Just now I talked about the inverted index, how it works. So remember that in Elasticsearch, they will not store your entire data. They will store the what is it? Uh, the tokenized and filtered one in the inverted index. Are you understanding, all of you, so far?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Okay. So now the question is, how this Elasticsearch will get the data? Okay, data means Apache log, Tomcat log, Java log, Windows log, Linux log, many documents log. How do you get it? Log means it's not only log, pages also. So that is where that we have a beats actually. A lot of beats are there. So this is a Windows beat. I'll not complicate too much. This is a Windows beat. This is the Linux beat. Linux beat, you can say agent sort of it. There's a different kind of agents which we have. So this is the Win beat, and this is the metric bit, which is Linux bit actually. Okay, so here Win bit, I'll put it somewhere here, and then Linux bit, metric bits. I mean, the simple bit means agent. Just you say that it's a agent. So this is the what happens. This bit, what they do. This is the agent installed here. An agent installed here. An agent capture the information from the system and send to the Elasticsearch. An agent also capture all the information and send to Elasticsearch. Look at the arrow which I'm drawing. That is very important. So you'll remember that flow of the data. So far so good, all of you?
Yeah. Yes.
But guys, what is happening? The data which Beats is collecting and forwarding to Elasticsearch is not the filtered one. Filtered one means not the processed one. That means everything it capture and forward to Elasticsearch. And but Elasticsearch, if you store the data in a right format and in a inverted format, then you can it's easy to search. So what we do, that is where we did not implement directly and sending the data to the Elasticsearch. What we do, we use one middle component here. Okay, and this middle component which we have is Logstash. Okay, Logstash. So Logstash is doing what? So Logstash is basically, you can say, cleaning the data and only sending the data to Elasticsearch what you need it. So here what will happen? All the beats will send the data to Logstash now. And here processing will happen. The data will be processed as per your desired thing. And then Logstash will send the data to Elasticsearch. Look at the arrow is important. So this is a whole model, the one which you set up. You will have to set up in your projects also. And this is called ELK setup. So here you have Elasticsearch also, Logstash also, Kibana also, and beats also. So you may, in reality, you may have hundreds of beats actually, more than that in a production. You may have a 200, 300 beats actually. Different types of beats are available, like Windows beat, Linux beat, network beat, this beat, that beat. So many beats types are available. So far so good. Clarity is there.
Yeah,
But
Rajesh.
the process is the same, right? Like there is no change in the process. The beats will go to the Logstash, from there to Elasticsearch, from there to Kibana and all, right?
Yes. Yes. Okay. But then you'll say, Rajesh, I ask you question about sharding and replicas and all stuff like that. But you are answering me this. So where this will come? Guys, what is happening? This Elasticsearch, see, if you're learning, okay, mind it. If you're learning, then one machine is okay. One machine is okay. Because we have a few inverted index here, and then it will serve your purpose. But in the real time, when you do the indexing for the large enterprises, like where you have 100 boxes, 200 boxes, then in that case, you know what? This machine will not be good actually. So what you have to do? You have to create a cluster of this Elasticsearch. I repeat, cluster of Elasticsearch. That means this will not be one machine. This will be maybe running in the hundreds of machines. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now how do we create a cluster? So here, when you set up a cluster, okay, there is a process to set up a clusters. I'll show you that one. I mean, probably not be able to show you the demo, but give you the document and explain you. So this cluster we need to set up. This component we have to set up in a cluster. So let's put it up in this way. This is the whole cluster. How many nodes we have? So let's say there's one node here. Let me change the color. So there's one node here. There's one node here. When I say node means virtual machine. I hope you are getting my points, right?
Yes, Rajesh. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
So right now, this is my Elastic clustered. I repeat, not ELK clustered, Elasticsearch clustered. I'll tell you one thing, guys. Cluster concept is basically very global. That means last day I taught you Kubernetes cluster. Now I'm talking about Elasticsearch cluster. Sometime you'll be asked for MySQL cluster. Uh, you'll be Postgres cluster. So whenever you see a cluster, basically it's not running in one machine but multiple machine. Then you say why? Because we wanted to process large amount of information, and that one machine is not useful, not sufficient. So for that, we set up a cluster. And every backend, when I say backend means database sort of it, every backend allows the clustering. No matter if you go MySQL, Postgres, Redis, or Kafka, or this one, what do you say? Uh, Elasticsearch, all these allow the clustering. Okay, so this Elasticsearch is a backend. Remember, backend means storage. Okay, so allow the clustering. So in this example, if on this my screen, I have a 3 node. That means I want to set up cluster. So now here the index, I'm drawing the index picture just for sake of inverted index. So in inverted index, you know what, you may have think about it. This inverted index, I have one document, then I have another document, I have another document, I have another document. Let me copy paste, that will be easier. Here another document in the, this is the inverted index. Okay, this is the inverted index. So now this is the one index which you have. Now the question is, how can I store this inverted index in the cluster? Right now cluster I have a 3 machine. Correct now? Correct now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't
So
we
this is the,
designate the places where it goes? Like,
okay. So in that case, if I say this whole inverted index, which has a thousands of document, it will store here. Let me create a lesser image. Let me create little lesser. It will create here. What I did here, I stored it. Now suddenly what will happen in the clustering concept, this machine is gone. So that you lost the data, right?
yeah.
That is a problem. So what we do, so, and here again, one more problem. When they see that in this image, Kibana hits the Elasticsearch. So if the index is here and the size is huge, actually, think about it, then all the search will create a load on this machine only. Entire load will be on this machine, not this, not this. What is the use of clustering then? Got it?
Yeah, I got it. Yes.
Yeah. So what we do in this case? So what we'll do, we will divide this whole index into 2 part. Okay, so here one part is like this, and we'll store here, and another part is like this. So can we do that? Yes, we can do that. So that means one index migrated into 2 part. Okay, so some documents you have here, 1 2 3 4, first 5 documents you have here, last 3 documents we have here. So then you'll ask me what this process is called. So dividing the index into the multiple part, we call it sharding. What we call it? What we call it?
Sharding.
Sharding. Yes, remember. This is a very important concept. So whenever you see the interact with Elasticsearch, no, then you'll say multiple shards, sometime 1, sometime 2, sometime 4, depends on your plan. So here what we did, we created a large index which cannot store in the one machine. So because we cannot store in the one machines, I converted to the multiple shard. So now this one shard I created here, 2 shard, as per my discussion I'm doing 2 shard. So now see here, my size was 50 GB, but the problem was this was 25 GB and this was 25 GB only. So if I create a 2 shard, it solve my problem, right now? Correct now?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah. So that's way. So if the one index you cannot store in the one box, So you create a shard, multiple shard. So that way you can store in this one. But availability problem is still there. Availability means, let's say this node is disappear. Then what will happen? Then in that case, you need a replicas. So replicas means this shard, whatever you create, you'll create one replicas here. Okay, R1, and then this machines will create a replicas here. See the backup, or maybe wrong because the size I limit, right? So maybe what you can do here, you can create replicas here R1 and here replicas R2. So that means now see that here, you know that the size of the index maximum can grow. So for that you have as many shards you want, and then same time you want to have a backup and availabilities. If one node is down, still you'll have replicas 1, which is the same thing. Or if this is down, then you'll have replicas 2. So availability is also sorry. Sorry. So availability is also addressed. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah.
We are getting.
Yeah. So here we have a concept of clustering. This clustering we call it. Okay. So now you understand that when we have an
One,
inverted index, then we create a shard and replicas. Okay.
one small doubt, Rajesh.
Yeah.
What if the replicas is that we need to create the replicas or replicas will be created automatically?
This is a very good question. So actually, nothing has to be done by you. You need to just tell only one time when you create an index, no, then you have to tell, okay, how many shards I want and how many replicas you want. And right now I'm showing you the 3 machines, but in reality you may have hundreds of machines. Okay, so Elasticsearch itself will take care of that sharding and replications. You just need to tell how many replicas you want and how many shards you want. So they will know all the clusters and they will take care of everything automatically. Got
Okay,
it?
thank you. Yeah, got it.
So now, now I'll tell you one more
Rajesh,
thing.
hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is okay. But whenever we are getting, for suppose if the data is coming like per hour 50 GB data, then how can we prepare like how the like this much Elasticsearch nodes is there and all the stuff. So how can we calculate this thing like creating the cluster? Like depending upon the data, we need to create the cluster, right? So number of Elasticsearch nodes and number of Logstash nodes, number of Kibana nodes. So how can we prepare that?
Ha.
So,
So that is called capacity planning. Okay. That is called capacity planning. So when you set up a cluster, before that you will do some sort of POC, and in POC you will identify the sources of the data. So let's say you want to store Linux log, Apache log, this log, that log, whatever it is, I don't know. So you want to store that data and you will calculate maybe for 1 or 2 days. And then you'll decide, okay, my size of the cluster should be, let's say I'm just giving you a very dumb big way. Let's say in a POC you got to know your entire production is having the 1 GB of log per day. So now your Elasticsearch cluster, you said your organization said your retention period is 15 days. Very simple calculation. So this you decided, this you got to know during the POC only. Your size of the log is 1 GB per day and retention period is 15 days, or maybe more also, I don't know. So you tell me what is the capacity of cluster you should be having. Tell me.
yeah, like per day 1 GB, right?
Hmm.
So and 15 hours.
15 GB, simple, no? Why we are
15 GB.
thinking so much? Got it?
Yeah.
So your cluster size should be 15 GB because you got to know one day you are storing this much of data and you want to have a retention period, means more than 15 days of data will be deleted. You have to set the retention period for the index. Got it?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. So that way you can decide the storage. But the question is, how can you decide the CPU and RAM? Storage is we discussed just now. Again, simple way to start. Again, there's no as such one answer for everything, fits for every requirement. CPU and RAM depends on the number of CRUD. What is CRUD?
Create, read, update, and delete.
Create, read, update, and delete the Elasticsearch. Because every time you create some document or read some document or update some document or delete some document, this will be performed with the CPU RAM, with the help of CPU RAM only. So you have to decide how many CRUD operations you do, and then accordingly you can create a benchmark for your organizations. Okay, there is a many templates are available. Let's say if you do this much, you need this much of CPU RAM, that you will find it automatically. I know that. So but you can create your own benchmark within a team by running the system for 5 days and see that what should be the benchmark and capacity planning. Now plus is also depend on the searches, how many searches you will do. More searches, more CPU, more RAM. So there is no as such one flat answer. This is all depends on your project, uses of the project, and that is called
Completely,
that.
yeah, completely depend on the data only. We need to decide the things that those are.
Correct. So
Yeah.
that is that process we call it capacity planning. So you guys will work initially, first the process is very simple. First you learn the ELK setup. After that you set up at the small scale for your certain projects. Understand the optimization of CPU, RAM, and storage, and based on that you can suggest some capacity planning, and then you set up at the large scale. That is how every projects will go through. Make sense?
Yeah, Rajesh, got it.
Okay, so guys, there was a question: what is sharding, what is replicas, and what is a cluster? We understood. Now one thing more I want to tell you, so let me do that. Just a second. Or let me draw a picture. I'm not using the slides because it'll become a too much actually. So you know what guys, in this cluster, you know what, there are many nodes are available. So there is a one node, let me change the color because I like different color. And there is a one node. No, I need some space here. One node, and then one node, one node, one node, one node, one node, one node. So this is the cluster. But you know guys, in the cluster also there's a different types of node. Yes. So here the one which I discussed, no, the node which I was discussing for the sharding and replicas, that node I was discussing the data node. Data node means the place where the index stored. That is a data node. So here you know what, you will have a data node multiple. So data node, this is the data node where the index will be stored, shard will be stored. Here also data node, data node, data node, data node, data node. Now here you will make a request. You means through Kibana also, and directly also you can make it. Okay. So you will make a request for searching and analysis. So now what happens for handling that kind of request, you have a client node. So this only receive the request. So now we have a two client node, right? Sorry. So here we can create a load balancer. You understand the load balancer, right?
Yes.
So Kibana will hit, or maybe you will hit for searching analysis to the load balancer of client node actually. and client node can send the data, request to this node or this node or this node or something like that. Then you'll think, Rajesh, then who will manage client and data node? So there is a one node which is called master node also. So master node basically is a controller. Remember that in Kubernetes we had a master node which was managing the worker node, correct? In Kubernetes. So same way.
Yes.
Yeah. So here we have a master node. Here, see, understand that same software will be installed here, here, everywhere, same software. That is called Elasticsearch. But role will be different. So we'll have to specify what role you will play. So this will play the role of client. This will play a role of master. This role will become a data nodes. So now that you know what this sharding and replicas is done by what? So done by master node only. So they will take care of this work actually, jobs. So here we have a client node which receive the traffic and then it will transfer to which data node decided by master. So it may transfer to here or here or here or parallel to multiple one, depends on the some configuration. So data node, and here let's say it is hitting to the multiple data node. It hit this to the multiple data node at a time. So the the results will be in a not in sync. Let's say you are searching Rajesh. So there are certain documents here also and here also and here also. So these three documents will be presented and some algorithm for the Elasticsearch will be used and then display whatever will happen. It may be from this node altogether in parallel. Okay, so that is the things. After that, if you want to short it out and this that and all, you can do that very well. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yes, I got you, Rajesh.
Yeah. So please remember the roles for the nodes when you get into the clustering, then you require all this knowledge though. Right now for learning purpose, I will set up only one Elasticsearch, one Logstash, one Beat, one Kibana, and then we'll spend some time as a UI part. Make sense, all of you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was talking about something. So yeah, I think I completed, so I'll just skip all this discussion and all stuff like that. So let's get into the demo, okay, and let's set it up, the Elasticsearch. Now guys, what I am doing, there is a version which is called Elasticsearch 7.x, and there's one more version which we have, Elasticsearch 8.x. So 7.x and 8.x, few changes has come in terms of security, in terms of schemas and all. So what is the difference, major difference between the, so I'll just give you this assignment. Okay, so you will find out what is the major difference just major difference between Elasticsearch 7 and Elasticsearch 8. This you will find it. Sorry. For this you will write offline. But today I will teach you 7. So why not 8? So 8 is little bit more complex in terms of setting up and making you understanding and loading the certificates, token, password, and all of that stuff like that. So major difference between the 7 and 8 is security, which is earlier it was not a default, but here is they made it default. So because of I want to teach you 7, you can practice in 7 and then slowly migrate to 8. So that way the complexity of learnings of 8 will not be introduced to you to get started with it. Whatever I'll teach you in 7, you can use in 8 without any problem, except some of the extra additional feature which you got it. Are you understanding, all of you?
Like there are no major changes, right? If you have worked on it, if that's the case, then you can go with 7. If not, why don't you try to go with 8 itself?
Yeah, 8 also
Because
we
even we are using the advanced methods here, so why don't we go with the update itself?
yeah, we can go sorry. We can go for 8 also. That's not a problem. For me, there is no challenge. But the amount of quantity of the work which okay, I'll put it in this way. Uh, so major thing is Elasticsearch, CRUD, and DSL. That is a important things. So for 8, all the formats will change. For example, this format, this all code you see, right? This all codes will change little bit of it. So right now, 8 got introduced recently in the market. So that each commands with the security in place right now. See, I'm not using any security, no password, no certificate and stuff like that directly. So we can use it. But if you use 8, every time you have to attach to the security. So let me put it up in this way. Let's go ahead with the 8 only. That's not a problem. The only thing is, like, it will for each in every operations, it will delay the little bit of things. I mean, because of little bit of additional changes. 7 is flawless because of no security attached to it, no password required, no certificate required, or all this stuff. But 8 is also good. You have to add the some of the security part of it. So yes, we can do 8 also. We can do 7 also. 7, all this thing will be flawless. 8 will have a little bit of challenge here and there, some configuration changes, So yeah, we'll go for 8 then in that case. Okay.
Yeah, thank
Rajesh,
you, Rajesh.
Yeah.
Rajesh,
Yeah.
how to upgrade 7 to 8?
This upgrade documentation, I would suggest. Sorry. See, when you just again. Sorry. I'm getting some issues actually. Sorry, yeah. So upgrade documentation is better to look for the official documents, because 4 to 5 huge difference, 5 to 6 huge difference, 7 to 8 huge difference. Okay, on top of it, there's no as such direct upgrade available. You need to take into the consideration about the replicas, shard, data node, what do you say, client node, master node, all these things. So yeah, you can always look for the documentation for the right steps, and every steps you have to do with the care, depends on your setup also. Okay, so flat upgrade, if you want me to say, there's one utility they have given. Okay, and there is a few jar files you need to copy and utility, and then run it and restart that. That's all. But it's not that straightforward, to be honest. When you are in a production and all, it's not that straightforward. Lots of check you have to perform before doing the upgrade. Okay.
Okay.
Because why
So
we are getting asking this question is right. So whenever the old cluster is there, right? So we have to completely remove that cluster, and again we need to do from the initialization steps also. So that is why we have asked this question. Yeah.
see, one
Yeah.
node upgrade process is very simple. But when you are migrating to the production server, there's no straightforward answer for it. You have to have a lots of checklists in place before start doing the
Yeah.
activity. But if you ask
Okay.
me, at a high level, just replace the jar file, run one script which will change the schema, and done. But this is not a good answer.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Rajesh, got it.
Okay, so we'll go with 8. All of you are comfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So let's go ahead with the 8. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a machines. So guys, remember this image. So first I'll set up Elasticsearch. I will be sure about it. Then I'll set up a Kibana, and then finally Logstash and beats. So let's do that. I'm VirtualBox. So all these operations I'm doing in CentOS 7. Okay. So guys, this is my template, and this is ELK session, and this is I'll use ES1. ES1 means Elasticsearch 1. If in future I need a more machines, like data node, master node, all this thing, I can do that also. Okay, so done. So just a second, guys, give me 2 seconds. It's cloning. Okay, now so Elasticsearch 1 I created. Now I'll go for an Kibana also. Okay, so Kibana and clone. Clone. And this is a Kibana. Okay. Now third machine I need is Logstash and beats. So Logstash and beats, I'll keep it in one machine. Will that be okay, all of you?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah, it's okay.
So and beats. Okay. So all these three machines, three separate machines, I got it. By the way, guys, if you set up all this tech in one machine, it will be more faster actually, and more if you want to learn, it will be good for you. Yeah, but yeah, I want to show you something distributed, so that way keeping in a different machines. So now let me start the Elasticsearch here.
Are they Linux machines?
Of course, yes, CentOS 7. Okay, so root and password is Rajesh123. And what is the IP address? Let me get 2. Okay.
Rajesh, the screen is very small. This
Yeah.
when you're powered on, the Linux box screen, even we cannot able to see that letters.
Yeah, we have solutions for that. 168.1.2 and appearance. Apply. Okay, so guys, this is okay, right? Hello.
Yeah. This is okay.
Okay. So now let's set it up. This Elasticsearch in this machine. Now, guys, anything, I think by now you know that all the tutorials are here only. So I keep updating here only. So if you want to set up, see here, many things are there. You have to utilize it. See, install and configure Elasticsearch. This is a little old 7 version, the one which I was trying for it. Okay, which I wanted to show you. This is, you can use it. I think someone, if you are interested to set up a cluster like this one, this data node, master node, and client node, all that stuff. So for that, you can use this document also. So this is for AWS, and many things are there here which will help you. So I'm going for try 8. So here this is the 8, and let's
Share
use this.
share the URL, Rajesh, once.
It's the same,
This
no?
URL.
Anything
Yeah.
anything you
Below
learn,
the,
this is the one. That's all. And search for it.
okay.
Yeah. So now I'm going to follow the steps. So clear the screen, install unzip. I'll just pause the recording because it will take a few seconds.
This conference will now be recorded.
So it started. So I'm installing the unzip and wget node. Done. Finally, see that which version is this? All of you?
8.4. Yeah, we're seeing Rajesh.
So Elastic search download. Okay, enter. Now if you go to this website, get comfortable with the website. Okay, very nice website. And here download Elasticsearch, and here download and unzip. That's the reason I installed it. Now if you want to install through the unzip process, Windows, Mac, Linux, all this thing you have it. And if you want to install through the some package manager like yum and all, here you have the instructions. If you want to install in Docker, then here is the instructions. And how do we run this Elasticsearch? Here is the instruction. This is for Linux, this is the Windows. And then after that you have to get started. Now it's very planned tutorial actually here. You never get stuck. But some of the commands you need it. So for that you can look for my tutorials. For example, see here how to install Elasticsearch using Docker. So here you have. So this way you can check this, all this stuff in detail. You'll have it. Okay. So it depends on the thing. So here I am downloading, and for that the command which I'm using for downloading purpose is this one. Okay. So wget enter. Okay. So now it will download the stuff. Meanwhile, just spend some time here. See here.
Yeah, Rajesh, you have entered wget 2 times.
Is it? Let me see that. Okay, there is some command problem. Let me fix it. This is the T, right? That is a causing. Enter. Okay, so just wait for it. Now this is the Elasticsearch. Something similar you will have other products also, and you see the view releases, detail release notes. This license applied for Elasticsearch. You can run in fact in cloud also. Okay, and get started guide here you have on demand docs. So beautifully planned. This is not needed. You can do directly add data to Elasticsearch, add data to in bulk. All this thing I'll show you and get started. Okay, so now this should be started the learning. Meanwhile, let's spend some time here. So here When you search the Elasticsearch, you have to log in and then create a first deployment, add a data to Elasticsearch. So how do you add the data? So this all queries I'll teach you, don't worry about that. This is called CRUD operations. So I'll teach you and so on. Okay, it should. Let me pause the recording.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so now what we have is Elasticsearch. But one thing I told you, I hope you remember, Elasticsearch cannot run as a normal user. Correct now?
Yeah, not as a root user, I guess.
Sorry, not as a root user. Normal
Yeah,
user you can run it. So what
yeah, we
I'll
can
do,
do that.
I'll create one user which is called Elastic, and I will set the password Elastic. Password Elastic user. What is the password? I'll set Elastic only because I'll forget. I know that. And Elastic. It's not matching. Let me try. Elastic. Elastic. Yep, done. So all this done. Elastic. Remember that. It's very easy to do that. Now su Elastic. Su Elastic. Now I've logged in using Elastic, right? But you know what I did? Yeah. So what I forgot, this I have to copy into the home Elastic and copy or move it. In fact, you could have done it. Chmod, chown, what is this? Elastic, Elastic, and this file, Elasticsearch. And chmod 755 to this file. And now su Elastic. So now guys, I logged in as Elastic. I'll go to my home directory. I have this file. You understood, all of you, so far?
Yes, Rajesh.
Now all these commands, don't worry about that. These commands you have in my notes. All this thing you have here. Okay, so you can do that. So now finally, let's get started. So I'm doing nothing great actually. You will find, this very easy. Oh, sorry, I think I'm lost. This is a tarball I'm watching on chip. So ZXVF Elasticsearch. Okay. Done, guys. Now where the Elasticsearch unextracted. This is the one. Okay. Now I'll go inside this here and slowly we'll get understanding of this. So all the JRE, remember that I said Elasticsearch is written in Java. So
Yeah,
JDK files are there. So you don't have to install Java separately. Okay, it has a attached files, Java attached. Logs, I think I don't have to teach you. Any Elasticsearch library like a jar file, basically the code, Elasticsearch software, you can find in the library folder. You can install modules and plugins. So modules and plugin means you can extend the functionality of Elasticsearch, and you can do that Elasticsearch modules and plugins. All the configurations file will be here. And the start stop script will be here. Let's go to the config directory and see that this file is most important for time being. Please remember that elasticsearch.yaml file, most important file for you. By the way, any Java JVM setup you have here, roles here, users here, all this thing is for administration. slowly you will get through that. Again, I just said, no, this is a huge stake, actually huge training, huge list of agendas for entire tool set. So right now, so let's go to the bin directory now, and here you have multiple utilities. So you said that multiple utilities are there, and each utilities has certain what do you say, sorry, certain requirement for it. Okay, so if you look at this, each and everything, you have a certain requirement, and once you get into admin side of it, you will automatically start using it. So today I'm going to use this one, and then setting the password, this one also, and like that. So some of the utilities I'll use it. Now, how do I start the Elasticsearch? Simple. But you know what, guys, this you will lose that console, means you lose this console, and I'm ready to lose it. Why? Because I want to see the logs. If there is any error, I will get to know, rather than going to the log files, which is very irritating sometimes. So I'm okay with this command, but then you'll say, Rajesh, I want to run in the background. So I told you all these tutorials, you have everything here. You can refer all of my old tutorials. It will work just like that. So you see here, this is the same thing. It's almost same thing. This command will help you to run in the background. So I'm running this command only, but if you add a detach mode with a PPID and all blah blah blah, it will run in the background. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Rajesh, can we run it as a service also?
Yes, service also. If you want to service, I have a code also for that, and that is
Like we need to do some startup script related issues. So after that
yeah,
it will get run service.
right, yeah. So service, I should be having it. Just a second, let me check. Uh, mm, Not able to recall it, but yeah, you can run as a service. Let me show you that way. Here, I applied this method. But if you go for this method, yum method, you will become a service also. See here. So you're installing it and then starting. Let me show you this. See here, installing it as a service, and finally, uh, this is a service. See here. Got it? This is the one. Okay. So depends on what kind of install you want. So if you I did not try this one. Why? Because this way, my configuration file will be going to etc, and my other locations will be different locations. I didn't want it to that, because if I have a different location, how can I show you all this thing at one place? I want you to understand the complete control of it. Got it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Rajesh.
So now bin directory. So this is easy to learn and easy to manage also, because everything you have at one place. But service, it's just your mindset. That's all, nothing else. This is the one. So I'm start running this Elasticsearch. I run it because I want to see the logs, and this is the way you to learn also. Okay, so let's see that. It's taking little time, which I'm not expecting. So let's see that. Wait for it. So now see, guys, one more thing. Info is okay. Info is okay. If there is a warning, it's okay, but error is not okay. So please remember that. So right now, as long as I'm getting info, I'm happy. Warning, okay. But if error, then I'll have a problem. The problem most of the time you'll feel because of RAM issues. Mind it. Because of RAM and CPU issues, you'll have error, because you require at least 4 to 6 GB RAM for this. So mind it. Don't start any machines Elasticsearch and say, Rajesh, it's not running, your steps are not working. So JVM settings are required. Some descriptor are required for this CPU, RAM, and all this thing you need it. Okay. So now, guys, this is run. It has completed the flow, successfully loaded everything. Now, if you go scroll up, this is the difference between 7 and 8, primary difference. And I would like you to read it. Okay. Understood now?
Yeah.
So that means security features earlier it was not enabled. That was easy for me to teach. But now every time you have to use the username and password. So what is the username? Default
Elastic.
username is Elastic and password is given by here. Now, if you're using certificate, HTTP and all certificate, then you have to use the fingerprinting also, this one. And for Kibana, special instructions are there. You have to, don't ignore it. In the Kibana, you have to give this certificate value. And this will be active only for 30 minutes, mind it. So I have to set up a Kibana within a 30 minutes. And after that, you have to configure, and this you can regenerate, that's not a problem. If you think, okay, what will happen after 30 minutes? No problem, you can regenerate here. Okay, so that is also there. And configure the nodes to join the cluster. So what to do? So create enrollment token using this, uncomment the transport host here. Just give me a second. Yeah, so here guys, if you want to add a more nodes to the cluster, so look at this here, uncomment the transport host setting in this file, which is important. Restart Elasticsearch, start Elasticsearch with enrollment token using the enrollment token that you generated. So enrollment token I have this one. Okay, sorry, enrollment token I have this one, I guess. This is the one. So if you want to generate a new token, you can start this and generate a new token. Understood, all of you?
Yeah, got it.
Yes,
So
Raj.
I'm going to copy this whole things together, because if I lose it, I'll not be able to again have to reset it, and I don't want to get into that. Wonderful. In fact, Notepad, they have this UI. I never thought it will be having Notepad. It's okay. So now done. So now guys, how to check that my Elasticsearch is working or not? So for that, I will open up a new console, duplicate session, and log in as a root. This is not a problem. Access can be from any Rajesh123. Okay. So what is the URL for it? So here you need to copy the pattern from my. So earlier URL used to be this one. Okay. So it in 7. So that was very easy. But this is the something which you have to always use certain pattern. So here you have to sell where is certificate. This is the one. What is username and all this thing, and the local host. Are you understanding so far? Okay. Now there is a password. Where is the password? I don't want to insert the password again and again. It's a headache for me. What I will do, copy the password next to the user colon . So this is your code now to get started with the UI. Kibana also you'll run something similar code, which I'll show you through the UI in some time. So guys, did you understand, all of you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Raj.
Okay. So now with that, let me see that success story for Elasticsearch at least. Thank you. And here you see that, please read this. Name of your cluster is this one. I should have changed the name, that's okay. sorry, name of my node is this one, name of the cluster. This is UI of the cluster, and these are the stuff. So my cluster is healthy, working fine, and there is no problem. Now what I will do, I'll set up a Elasticsearch, I mean Kibana. So all of you understood so far?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah,
now
Rajesh.
let's move on to the second component of my discussion. This is done. This is the Kibana. So where is the Kibana? So go for the Kibana download. Okay. Now one thing I would like to understand, Kibana require a backend. Without that, you will not be able to start it. So backend is Elasticsearch. So again, same thing. Which one you want? Zip file and start Kibana. And but by the way, guys, for Kibana you don't need a root user. You can use. I mean, you don't need a normal user. You can use any user. So here you can start the Kibana and then open the Kibana, and here click on the link provided in the terminal and point your browser at this one. This is the port number and enrollment instructions and stuff like that. So if you see that here, this is important. Start the Elasticsearch security enable automatically. So here, this is the Elasticsearch you started. Okay, and after that, guys, mind it here. This is to test the Elasticsearch which I did. After that, you started Kibana and go to the browser. You can do with the detached mode also. And this enrollment token, you remember that, which I gave it to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to pass it. By the way, if you don't pass it, no problem. It will what do you say? A browser prompt you. So if you open a browser, it will prompt you. You can copy paste there and stuff like that. Okay, so now here, Kibana, this is important notes. Kibana
Rajesh, you
won't.
said that Kibana will be running on a different node. Are you going to do that, or else you are going to run in the same machine?
No, no, no. We discuss. No, we'll run in the different machines.
Fine.
Yeah. So that's the reason I'm telling you. Because see, one important statement which you need to remember: the moment you start the Kibana, they will look for the Logstash. I mean, sorry, not Logstash. Elasticsearch in the local host. Okay. So what to do? So in order to avoid that, what you can do, Kibana won't enter interactive mode if detects existing credential for Elasticsearch username and password or existing URL for this one. Okay, so mind it here. This is important statement. Please read it one more time, because if it is everything you are installing in one box, no, it's easy. But if you are multiple box, then you have to remember won't enter interactive mode if it detects existing credential for Elasticsearch. Dot dot dot. Okay, so that is something which you have to start understanding this. So yeah, I'll talk about it, that one, and get started. Few more commands are there. I would suggest you, uh, to do that. So that is the thing. So I'm just checking we have any files change or something. I don't think so. There is change. So everything's okay except the certificate. I have to copy from that. So we'll do that. Yeah. So let's get started with the Kibana now. I'm the only worrying about it. Can my machine will be able to run 3 laptop with, three VMs with the high configurations. Let's try actually, at least, and see that. Because 6 GB I allocated to Elasticsearch, 6 GB I'm allocating to Kibana. So let's check it out. Root Rajesh 123 IPA. So my IP address is this time 8. So new 192.168.1.8. Enter. Root Rajesh 123, and let's complete this view a little bit better. Bold 14. Okay, apply. So guys, did you are you able to see that, right? This machine?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. So now guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to download the Kibana. Where is that? Here it is. So for that, I need Linux. And if I click no, I don't want to click. I want to yum install wget-y. Wherever you feel confused, no, please ask me for clarification. Yeah. So here, wget opt I'm into, and I'm downloading this Kibana 8 version, latest one. Let me pause the recordings.
You told that root user should not be, it's just for
The
This
recording.
conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so what has happened? Okay. Okay, so this is another security, this kind of things which is really creating annoying. So what they're saying, that account which I use is having a super access, and as part of the latest release, that is forbidden. Okay, so what they're saying, hey, do one thing. This is a super account that cannot write the system indices that Kibana needs to function. Use a service account instead. So now you can create a service account. So that's not a problem. We can create it and we can set their password and all stuff like that, and we have to update it. So that is a one validation failed, which has got in the 8.4. Actually, this was not there few months before. So this is super contact done. So let's get into the creating a service account. So now I'm creating a service account, and for each and everything there is a utility, so you can use that. So service account, and so see that there is a CLI tool for creating a service account, and after that I'm going to change that file one more time. So here go to
Rajesh switch as a Elastic user.
okay, yeah, true. So elastic here. So go to Elasticsearch, go to the bin, and there is one utility which is called service account. Which one? Here it is. This is for service token. This is for the resetting the password. Where is service account? Let me search that utility. So ls, and here it is. So now this tool I'm going to use for creating a service account. I'll just copy the code from okay, just again. Let me pause this. Okay.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so what are the things you need to do in order to run the Kibana? So you need to change the server host. If you want to access the Kibana on the port number rather than local host, then you have to change this one. Second thing which I changed that is change that, and that is the Elasticsearch option. So here I change that the username and password. This is something which we have to do with the 8 only. Okay, 8 only, because 7 it was not required because security was disabled. Now some recent changes which has come, and that is you have to okay, so you have to add the service token also. And service token, why? Because Kibana can authenticate to Elasticsearch via service account tokens. Service token accounts are bearer style token, those. But if I see that this is the wrong one actually. Why? Because there's spelling mistake. I mean, there's a space got introduced. Oh no, it's correct. So this is a one line. So I thought it's a two. Okay. So this is the fourth thing you have to change. Now few more the things you have to change, and that is
Rajesh, you need to uncomment the token credentials.
I did know
No, you haven't.
where
Here, use this token instead of.
this one.
Sorry,
This is
I
the
thought the entire one should be.
yeah. So I come uncommented. So this is the one. And finally, there's a few more just for the recording purpose, which I'll do a little bit later. And this is the one. So remember that HTTPS, which you have for that, you required, if Kibana wants to connect with it, then you have to fill this all options, which is this certificate, client, and CA, these three. So I'll do that after seeing the error. And plus, this is only for the 8, not for 7. So this complexity, you have to work with it. So I hope now it's okay. There's no changes required. So now let me go to bin folder and run Kibana. Oh, sorry. And you have to allow this using this. And let's see. Info is good. And if, by the way, if you set up everything in one machine, you don't have to worry about it. If you want to have a flawless installation experience, you can also use Docker. So now strange thing. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let me change the configurations again. And let me comment the username and password. Elastic username, and put it up this one and this one, and try less this one, and run this. Seems like it worked. So there is some error also, a certificate error. That's okay. So because I did this, I wanted to see this error. I wanted to show you this error. So here you see unable to retrieve version information from Elasticsearch node, self-signed certificate in that error. That's okay. So now I would like to go for check. Okay, one more thing I forgot to do, that is disabling the firewall in Kibana server. So root and Rajesh 123 and systemctl. All these things you have to keep in mind. Again, notes are there with you, but this all are experience, so which you have to gain it. Disable it. Now IP address is 192.168.1.56. Anyone remember that? 5601, right?
Yeah.
And here this is your Kibana server, and it's not ready, just will be ready in some time. It will take some time, and then its certificate issues we have to solve it, but this is the Kibana server. Understood, all of you? Any questions?
No, Rajesh.
Okay, so now last thing which is pending, which will have to resolve the certificate issues, and after that we'll set up a Logstash and Beat. Before that, let's have a one break. I need badly some coffee and all. So let's get a break and for 20 minutes, and grab your tea, coffee, restroom, and personal calls. And once you come back, then we'll do the rest of the things. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah.
Uh, Rajesh, this is Durga here.
Yeah. Tell me.
Rajesh, please send the videos once this session is done. Actually, so people are waiting for doing the stuff, and they are missing with the videos. So after initially we complete this, please send upload that, and we can download it from the URL.
Sure. After this
Please.
session,
Yeah.
I'll share the
Yes.
URL.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. So we'll meet up after 20 minutes and then continue the session. See you guys.
Okay.
Bye.